Certainly, thank you. So immigration is unfortunately become a divisive issue, and it really shouldn't be. Most of us here today, have immigrant families. My grandparents came here from Ireland in 1959, at a time of anti-Catholic fervor, with the election of JFK right around the corner. And, you would think that in 2019, we would view immigration from a less nativist lens and recognize, A, that for too long we've been using undocumented immigrants here, many of whom have, simply overstayed visas. We've been using them as political pawns for too long. It was really unfortunate in 2013 when we had a compromised bipartisan, large immigration reform package that was hijacked by the Freedom Caucus in the House. Tulsi is someone who was working on that bill, and she voted for that bill. Her belief, is the same as mine, is that, for the 12 million people who are living here undocumented, we need to get them out of the shadows. Unfortunately, the media focuses on questions about, does your healthcare plan offer Medicare to undocumented immigrants, or, do you believe public education undocumented immigrants should have access to? It's a new question because I think every single candidate here in this Democratic primary supports a pathway to citizenship. Now, dealing with the 12 million people who are here at the moment is kind of an urgent, pressing concern, in addition to resolving the humanitarian crisis at the border. The Trump administration has purposefully separated families, detained children, and is purposefully, draining resources from the adjudication of asylum claims and of immigration claims, specifically, to appeal to his nativist base. We, this year, are taking in 20,000 refugees. Our historical average, going back to Reagan, was around 90,000. It's clear that this administration has a priority to create a crisis, to manufacture a crisis, to get people scared, to get people alarmed, and to get people to be divided. And when we have a sober conversation with people, you can talk to conservatives, you can talk to liberals, you can have them in a room together, and when you ask them line by line, do you support helping or creating a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers, for DACA recipients, for the undocumented immigrants who qualify or haven't broken a law or anything? Overwhelming majority of people say yes. When you ask people, should we invest in border security? Should we invest in non-invasive screening technologies? Most people say yes. When you talk about the wall, it's another issue too, where we just aren't talking to each other. Right now, we have a situation where 90% of the drugs that come into this country are coming through legal ports of entry. Building a wall wouldn't do anything. We have a situation where half the people who are undocumented today are people who overstayed their visas. So at best, Trump's border wall would deal with half of undocumented crossings and 10% of the drug inflow. We have to actually speak, outside of our, there's a lot of tensions on both sides. What we have to do is just have conversations about how do we address the urgent crisis, the humanitarian crisis at the border, how do we deal with the people who are here already, and in the long term, how do we make our immigration system more navigable for people who are looking to just either immigrate here or people who are fleeing persecution or hardship. And for America's history, we've been a country that's welcomed immigrants. In the 1800s, we welcomed Asian immigrants fleeing the Opium Wars. In the 1930s, we welcomed Jewish immigrants fleeing Hitler and anti-Semitism. My family came, in the late 1950s at a time of political turmoil in Southern Ireland. And, every single one of these inflows, of migrants, of immigrants, has made our country stronger. And if we, don't recognize that, we lose who we really are.